Hey everyone, welcome to another YOGALATES with SJ class. So today we have just over 20 minutes of a beautiful workout here. I'm going to use a block, a yoga block, and also a Zen ring or a yoga ring. You don't need any of this equipment, so if you don't have either of these things, it's all good. You can do it without, and I will let you know as we go along as to how you can do that. If you do have these pieces of equipment, you might like to grab those now, maybe pausing the video before coming to a comfortable seat on your mat. We are finding length up into the spine here. You might cross the legs in a regular cross or maybe stacking one leg on top of the other. And then if you do have a ring, just grabbing hold of the ring, and you are going to be having the curved part sort of up towards the ceiling, and then you're bringing that ring behind the neck, finding a comfortable position for the ring to be. We're bringing the elbows forward and together as you bring the chin down towards the chest, and then inhale as you lengthen back up, opening the elbows out. Continuing with this, we're finding a really nice openness into the heart as you come up, and then exhale as you round into the back of the neck and bring those elbows forward. Now you can have your hands interlaced behind the head for this instead, just not tugging on the neck. So you can place a little bit of weight onto the back of the head here, but really being mindful of looking after that neck so we aren't pulling on the neck as such. Awesome. Staying here, and then you're starting to bring your right elbow over to the right side, coming up, and then bringing the left elbow over to the left. Keeping the whole lower body grounded down. It's just a little hinge over. So you're finding length through the side waist. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Keeping length through the back of the neck. The gaze is straight forward. So you've got space between the chin and the chest. Inhale as you come back through center. Exhale, coming over to the other side. Letting go of any tension out of the hip flexors. The outer thighs are relaxing down. The pelvis. At the same time, feeling beautiful length all the way up the spine. Amazing work, you guys. Keeping it going and then coming back through center. Let's stay here. Bringing your arms forward. So palms are facing inward. If you have a ring, you've just got that curved part of the ring facing in toward you. We're bringing the arms up and overhead. And then you're starting to hinge out over to one side and then the other. So it's really just a little twist through the heart center here. So it's just the torso very gently twisting toward each knee. And keeping length into the spine. Shoulders are relaxed down and away from the ears. You're not locking through those elbows. So keeping a micro bend into the elbows. Coming up, inhale, exhale. Starting to come over to one side. Inhale, exhale. Coming to the other. Amazing. Finding length here into the spine, back through center. Arms come forward, palms facing inward. We're starting to twist one way, coming back through center, and then twisting the other way. All of the movement is coming from that space around the belly button. So the whole lower body, from the belly button down, is still and stable. You're relaxing the hip flexors, relaxing the thighs. Just twisting one way, then the other, allowing the head to follow the arms. And you've got that, the arms or the ring directly in front of that heart center or slightly below. Awesome. Coming back through center, and we are starting to cross the legs the other way. So just take a moment to find a switch of your cross, and then you're bringing the arms back up, allowing the arm to come down one way and then the other. Inhale up through center, switching, exhale, lower it down. Keeping this going. So the arm that doesn't have the ring is still lengthened up towards the ceiling, and then you're switching to the other side. You can allow the gaze to follow the hand that's coming down with the ring. Of course, if you don't have a ring, you're just watching that hand as it comes down. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lowering down. Beautiful work. And bringing the arms forward. We're going to do a little bit of movement into the wrists. So you can, if you do have a ring, you can just start to bring the ring in towards the body and then opening it forward. So you're just having a little alternate here, bringing some nice movement into those wrists. You can do this without the ring by interlacing the fingers and just starting to move the palms forward and then bringing the palms back in towards the body and then opening the palms forward again. Awesome work, you guys. Okay, let's come all the way to seated. So just taking a seat about the middle of your mat here. And then if you do have a ring, you can place that ring around the sole of the foot, finding a comfortable position so the arched or the curved part of the ring is facing into the foot. Otherwise, you can grab hold of behind the knee or maybe reach up and grab hold of the outside of the foot, and we are finding length up here. So just starting to really find that length from the tailbone all the way up to the top of the head. At the same time, we're starting to lengthen the back of the leg out. You can also hook the ring around the foot. So you might bring your foot inside that ring and allowing that curved part to be facing up towards the ceiling. Just not locking into that knee here, guys. So just making sure you've got a slight little micro bend into the knee and you're really lifting up from that pelvic floor all the way up out the top of the head. You might find a little bend in of the knee and then extend it back out. And as you bring the knee in, you are inhaling, exhaling as you lengthen out, finding even more length here. Beautiful. We're really finding a beautiful stretch through the hamstring, the glute muscle, the calf muscle. Amazing work. This is a really nice deep stretch for the whole body today. Cool. Let's do the other side. So just a little wiggle maybe here and then finding a length through that other leg. You can bring the ring around the foot, or you might take your foot inside that ring, finding some comfortable position here. And then you're just starting to find that length. I really want you to imagine that you're sitting up super tall, so you're engaging through that core to really look after the low back. Your shoulders are relaxed down and away from the ears. You're lengthening, sitting up nice and tall, kind of almost imagining you're sitting up out of your tailbone, and you have a string pulling you all the way up to the ceiling. Finding length through the back of that leg. You might bend the knee, bring the knee in towards the chest, and then lengthening the leg back out. Inhale here, and exhale as you bend the knee in. So good, you guys. Finding length. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you don't have that ring, you can also use a strap or something else, even a belt or a dressing gown belt or something like that, to just hold here, wrap it around the foot and use for a little bit of extra leverage. Beautiful, you guys. Breathing in, lengthening up, exhale. Cool. So good. Great job. All right, let's release and allowing both feet to come back onto the mat. Now you're going to bring that ring, if you have one, behind the back of the neck or behind the back of the skull, whichever feels better. So really having a play around here. Otherwise, interlacing the hands behind the head. You want to have the elbows so that you can still see them out of the corner of your eyes, so they're not too far back. And then you are tucking the tailbone and starting to roll all the way down and releasing. And then coming all the way back up. Inhale, rolling all the way up, finding length at the top. And then exhale as you tuck the tailbone, navel to spine, rolling back down, vertebra by vertebra. Inhale as you come up, really pressing your head into your hands or into that ring as you come up. So you're really protecting the neck here, and you're bringing all of that strength into your core. So we are working the core here today, you guys. We're getting some abs. We are Also burning as well, because we are building strength here. So this is increasing the metabolism. It is going to continue to burn body fat even after the workout is done, because of the amount of muscle that we can start to build here with these exercises. Cool. Now, coming all the way down onto your back, you can bring your hands behind your head, or you can keep hold of that ring here behind the head, allowing the head to really relax into that support of the hands or the ring. And then we're just starting to twist one way, so it's just a little bit of a rock to the right, and then to the left, and then back through center, and releasing down. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, coming down. So you're crunching up, you are allowing the elbow to come to the side, then back through center to the other side, keeping this going. I really want you to keep that belly button to spine the whole time. You've got a little bit of space between the chin and the chest, and you are pressing your head into your hands or into the support of that ring. So you're using your hands to really kind of hold the head up here and be the full support, so that you're not bringing any tension into your neck. Awesome. We can release, coming down. Just bringing your arms up in front of the face, and you can take hold of your ring or your strap, or of course you can just use your hands to grab hold of somewhere on the leg. It might be behind the foot, or it might be behind the knee. You can keep the left foot connected here onto the mat. You can lengthen that leg out longer if you want to get a little bit more of a stretch. We're finding a really nice stretch through the back of the hamstring, back of the leg, through that right side. Just starting to press the heel up towards the ceiling as you lengthen the tailbone down. Finding beautiful connection of the whole spine. Maybe you might bring the foot inside the ring. Have a little play there with that. And then maybe just starting to find a little half happy baby with this. So again, you can have your left leg extended for a deeper stretch, or you can have the sole of that left foot on the mat. Just letting the right knee be coming in the direction of the right shoulder, and using your arm strength to really pull down on that foot as you open up through that hip. You might ground the left hip down using your left hand to kind of place a little bit of weight down on that left side. Taking some really deep breaths here, in through the nose. Exhale, exhale as you soften any tension out. Awesome. And then taking a moment to release that. We're going to switch sides, so you can grab hold of the left foot somewhere or behind the left knee. Maybe you're taking the ring and placing it behind the foot. Finding that beautiful length through the back of the leg. The heel is pressing up towards the ceiling, flexing the toes back towards the face. And then bending that left knee in towards the left shoulder. You can hook your ring around the arch of the foot, coming to our happy baby here on the left side. So either using your ring or reaching up and grabbing hold of the outside of that foot or the back of the knee. And you can either keep the sole of that right foot on the mat, or you can start to lengthen the leg out long, finding an even deeper stretch. Inhaling deeply, and as you exhale, sending that exhalation to any areas of tightness. And then when you're ready, you can unhook the foot, starting to slowly release and let both feet come down onto the mat. Then we're going to come up, and if you do have a ring, you can kind of make it like a bridge. So you want to have the curved part facing down, and then starting to lay down on top of the ring there. So we want to kind of play around with this and just find a comfortable position to be in. So you really, it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but we're finding a nice heart opening with this. You can bring your feet out nice and wide if you like, or you can continue to have the soles of the feet onto the mat. Maybe bringing the arms out nice and wide. If you don't have a ring, you can just lay here in a neutral on your mat and just kind of open up across the heart center, allowing the outside of the legs to fall heavy. Or you might even use a little bolster to kind of bring that same positioning, just placing a little bolster directly underneath the shoulder blades, and so that the end of it kind of is just above the tailbone. Finding a little bit more openness here. You can even use a block too for this. Now you can either stay here in this position, in this heart opening, and just bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide in a butterfly. Or you can release any support that you have underneath you and just allowing the whole torso, the back body to lay down directly onto your mat, bringing the soles of the feet together, the arms out wide, palms facing up. If you need a little bit of support for the outside of the knees, you can always bring a couple of little cushions underneath the outside of those knees. If you want a deeper stretch, you can bring the feet in a little bit closer. If you want a more softer stretch today, you can slide the feet forward towards the end of the mat into more of a star shape. You might just start to allow the outside of those arms, the outside of the shoulders to relax down, the fingers starting to curl, feeling everything softening, taking a deep breath into the front side of the body. Feeling that full openness here, and then exhale, 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 relaxing the pelvis, the low back, the mid back, everything relaxing here. Then taking your time to slowly come up to seated, and we are going to just place your ring to one side, and you're going to grab hold of your block if you have one. And we're just bringing the soles of the feet onto the mat, and you are allowing the back of the neck to be nice and long. You might just start to rock the knees from side to side. So the feet can be out wide or they can be a little bit narrower. Just rocking, and then we're coming to stillness, bringing the block to the sacrum. So that's the flat bony part at the very base of the spine and just above the tailbone. So just allowing your low back or that sacrum to relax onto the block here. Bringing the arms into a bit of a T shape, just starting to allow the whole pelvis to become heavy, allowing length through the back of the neck, and just taking a few deep breaths here as you inhale in, expanding. And then exhale, 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 relaxing down. Awesome. You might start to bring the right leg up towards the ceiling, and then the left, finding a waterfall shape with this. Just allowing the legs to be in a neutral, so the legs are not too far towards the face and they're not too far towards the end of the mat. So it really should feel like a nice floating sensation. If you don't have a block, you might like to create this inversion by just allowing yourself to turn upside down somehow. That might be to just have the legs up the wall. So you could come in close to a wall and allow the legs to be lengthened up that wall. Find some breaths there as you start to relax down. Or you might allow the legs to come over the back of a couch as you just start to send all of that goodness out through the base of the feet, down through the body. The head being below the heart really allows everything to kind of reverse. We're very often on our feet. This is a really nice opportunity to switch it around. You might just start to let the knees fall towards you, softening into those knees, maybe letting the arches of the feet or the soles of the feet come together and the knees out wide, letting the pelvis be heavy, maybe holding on to the knees as you breathe deeply in, fully out. Feeling everything relaxing down. Maybe there's some movement into the feet, the toes, the ankles and calves that feel good. Having a little play here with this. Doing what feels really good in your body today. Every day is so different. So each day we can kind of just play with things and see how we're feeling within the body. Just doing whatever feels right in that moment for that day. If you enjoyed this class today, you might enjoy some of the other classes within the library here on YouTube. So feel free to subscribe to the channel and check out the playlist, which has all of the different workouts, yoga, Pilates, all of the good things free to you here on the channel. And you might just start to allow yourself a little bit of time here to relax down even more. Just starting to find a comfortable position on your back, lengthening both legs out to the wide edges of the mat, allowing the outside of the right foot to fall right, the outside of the left foot to fall left, the pelvis to be heavy. Maybe the hands start to relax onto the tummy, or maybe you bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart center. Or maybe just letting both arms go, flipping the palms to the sky. Finding a deep breath in through the nose, and then as you exhale it out the nose or mouth, allowing the whole body to sink deeply down into the earth. Staying here for as long as you feel to. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.